Hello, my name is Brittany and I am a teacher with SayABC. I just wanted to make a video today giving you the basic information that I think anyone that is thinking about applying for SayABC would need to know. So, SayABC is an online teaching company that hires native speaking English teachers to teach English to children that live in China. So all of this is done online through the SayABC software that they will have you download to your computer. All the classes are held there, and you can have up to 4 students per class. The students range in age from about 4 to 12 years old, so there's various levels of English ability, and they are grouped together based on those levels. The classes are 40 minutes long, and there is a 10-minute break in between each class. The times of the classes are going to vary, of course, depending on where you live in your time zone. On the SayABC website, the times are listed in Beijing time, so you will just need to convert that to your time. I live in Alabama in the United States in Central Standard Time, and the classes for me are at 5 a.m., 5:50 a.m., 6:40, and 7:30. And those classes, those 4 morning classes, are offered 7 days a week. And then there is some evening classes on Friday and Saturday evenings, and those are at 8:50 p.m. and 9:40 p.m. Now, I say Friday and Saturday evening, but again, just keep in mind that depending on where you live, if you live outside of North America, that it might be a different time of the day for you. So, so in total, there is 4 time slots for classes every day of the week in the morning time, and then there is 2 classes on 2 days of the week in the evening. So the pay is guaranteed $15 per 40-minute class, and then there is bonuses of up to $8. So if you teach a homeroom, which is where you meet with the same group of students twice a week for a total of 9 lessons, if you teach all of those 9 lessons without canceling one, without being late, you can earn up to a $6 bonus per each of those classes. So 9 times 6, you earn a $54 bonus. There's also trial classes, which is where students can try out SayABC before they sign up. It's a free class for them. If the student signs up with SayABC after you teach them a trial class, then you get an $8 bonus. So if you teach a trial class with 4 students and all 4 of them sign up, then you would get a $32 bonus. So not too shabby. So the qualifications to be a SayABC teacher are: you need to be a native English speaker. That's pretty important. You need to have a minimum of 1 year experience with kids, and then you need to have a bachelor's degree or be a final year student. Now, I will say that I have heard some teachers that have quite a bit of experience, but maybe aren't close to getting their bachelor's, and SayABC hired them. So if you maybe don't have those exact requirements, if you think that SayABC would be a good fit for you and you're interested, then I say definitely go ahead and apply, because you never know. An ESL certificate is not required, but it is preferred. And again, if you do not have a bachelor's degree or you don't have a lot of experience, that would definitely be helpful. So I would maybe look into getting one of those. There's lots of options for them online. I have my TESOL, or TESOL, however you say it, but there's lots of different options, and just a quick Google search will show you the different ones that are out there. So if you meet those qualifications, you can go to their website and apply, and I will include a link down below. And then after you apply, they will reach out to you within about 72 hours through email and let you know if your application passed. And if it did, they will invite you to do an interview. And there is 2 ways to do the interview. You can schedule a live interview with someone at SayABC, or you can do a self-recorded interview. And there's not an advantage to doing either one. It's just your preference, and they will both work the same way. There will be a series of interview questions, just general introduce yourself, talk about your experience and your education, and then about 10-15 minutes of demo teaching. So you will pretend that the interviewer is a student and you will teach them. And that would work the same way for the self-recorded. The interview questions will be listed for you to answer, and then you will switch into teacher mode and teach the lesson. And beforehand, they will send you the materials to prepare to teach the lesson. If they are doing it the same way they did when I started about 4 months ago, they sent me 3 different lessons, a lesson for level 0, level 1, and level 2. And at first I panicked and was like, oh, I have to teach all of these for the interview. But then I read and understood that they wanted me to pick which one I was the most comfortable with. So if they send you 3 lessons, be sure that you read all the details and see that they just want you to pick which one you're most comfortable with. So you will just pretend with the interviewer that they are a child and teach it to them, or in your self-recorded, you will just teach it. And then after the interview, they will again reach out to you in about 72 hours, let you know whether that passed. And if your interview passed, then you will be invited to the next step, which is having a mentor class and then the evaluation class. The mentor class isn't something you pass or fail. It's not something you're judged on. It's just where you will meet with a senior teacher with SayABC. You'll meet in a classroom, and it's a chance for you to ask questions and for them to show you how everything in the software works. So for me, it was really helpful. The teacher that I met with was great, and I had a lot of my questions answered. Some teachers are told that they can skip that step though, so just be aware that you may or may not have to do that part. But then the last part is the evaluation class, and that's a real class with real students. So they will schedule you a date and time. And as soon as they schedule you the date and time, you can go into the SayABC software and preview the lesson that you're going to be teaching. You can't enter the actual classroom, but you can view the slides that will be in that lesson. And the only difference is you won't see your teacher video and you won't see the student video, but everything else works the same. SayABC classes are basically an interactive PowerPoint. There is songs and games. You can move things around on the screen. You can draw and circle. There's an interactive dice that you and the students can click on, and a timer. So it's pretty cool. But you can preview the slide beforehand and prepare how you're going to teach. And you can also type notes to yourself on the actual slides, which is super helpful. So when I was preparing for my evaluation class, I just made some quick notes about how I wanted to teach a particular slide. And then when I went to teach it, the notes were saved right there for me. So if that would be helpful to you, definitely utilize that. So after you teach your evaluation class, again, you wait, and they will reach out to you and let you know whether or not you passed. Sometimes they will ask teachers to do a second evaluation class, so don't worry if they do. Evidently that happens quite a bit. But so they will either, I guess there's 3 choices. You could be hired, not hired, or they'll ask you to do a second evaluation class. So hopefully you will get hired or be asked to do another class. If they ask you to do another one, then again you will wait. But if they say that you pass your evaluation class, then you will sign your contract, and then you can start teaching. And you can open the SayABC software, and the way we set up scheduling to me is very self-explanatory in the software. You can set your schedule for 2 weeks, 5 weeks, or up to 14 weeks, or you can set it day by day if you want to. So I think that's really great. They do a homeroom system, like I talked about. I mentioned that bonus. That means that when you meet with the same students, it's in paired days, and the paired days are Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday, and Wednesday, Saturday. So if you set your schedule for 14 weeks, they can book you for homerooms, and it's good to, and the homerooms last over about 5 weeks. So if you get a homeroom, you'll know at least for the next 5 weeks that you're teaching on such and such day at such and such time. So I really like that. I work for another company also, and the schedules are set weekly, and that's great too. They work really well together. It just kind of depends on what would work best for you and for your schedule. So I think that is the basics. I really enjoy working for SayABC. I think it's great. They have a built-in reward system, so an external reward system is not required, which is awesome. Feedback is required for some classes, but not all. For a homeroom, it's required for classes 3, 6, and 9. And then it's required after all trial classes. So you do it about 50% of the time, and it's not long. It just takes me a few minutes to do for each student, so I don't mind that, but I have heard that complaint by a lot of teachers. There is no fines that you pay if you have to cancel a class. If you cancel a class within a certain amount of time, that can affect the bonus that you get for completing a homeroom. And, they say that canceling, frequently or being late frequently can affect future bookings, but there is no fine or anything like that you have to pay. Everyone that I've ever dealt with at SayABC has been super helpful and friendly, so I really don't have any complaints. Of course, bookings are not guaranteed, I guess, like any of these companies. There's no way for me to say 100% whether you will be booked right away or not. I was, and in all the Facebook groups I'm in, I've heard a lot of teachers say they are. Of course, there's some that say they haven't got as many bookings as they would like. But again, they don't require a minimum amount of hours each week or anything like that. So if you're working for another company and you want to add another one for the slow season, I think SayABC is really a good choice. The higher pay is a big plus in my book. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. My email address will also be listed down below. I'm happy to help in any way I can. If you'd like to use my referral code, I would be super grateful, and that will be down below as well. But you certainly do not have to, and I will be happy to answer your questions either way. So best of luck to you. Happy teaching.